This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Strap on that helmet and get ready to go because we're going to be firing up our engines and we're going to be racing through 2 different new tracks and having some new powers. Today we're taking a look at the expansion for Downforce Danger Circuit. I'm going to show you the 2 different boards that come with this, how they work, and show you the different powers. So let's see you on the other side. Now the board is double-sided, so here is one of the sides, Crosstown Speedway. And you start here and you come around and there's 2 big loops. You have to go through the loops, you can't just cut it off. Go like this, and as you can see, 2 of the 3 betting stripes are right after each of those circles. Now these circles make you think very different, because many times, the first couple times I've played this, I would play a car thinking I'm doing something good, and I end up stopping here, blocking one of my other cars, but it gives you a bigger chance and increase of being able to block people going through here, and you kind of really want to be the first ones through these, because there's a lot of blocking that happens here or there, and then it sort of opens up over there. Now these spots are pretty interesting too, because if you force someone to go this way here, it basically costs them about 2 more spaces than if you were to do this little cutoff here. So sometimes you can, if someone's here block this spot, you can go here. If this spot's blocked, someone's gonna try to go around, but it's gonna take them a little bit longer. And same thing here. If there is a car here and someone wanted to come through, if they go this way, it's basically at best 2 spots longer than this one. And if you look closely, nice touch here. Here is the little painter that's on the logo of Restoration Games. They're doing the basketball courts. Now here's the other side of the board. This one's called Switchback Pass. Now in this one, you'll see that there are these spots here that has cracked pavements and rocks, and these are danger portions of the track. Now the way these work is you can never move your own car or anyone's car through these danger spots if there's an option to not go through them. So if there's a regular square available for you to go, you must take that. You can't just go through those willy-nilly. However, if it looked like this, then this car actually would and has to be able to go through it, but they have to be able to pass it and not end your spot in one of these. If you can't go and you can't end your spot outside of this, then that car just simply can't go. But they are forced to go through there whether you want them to or not, if they can, and they can exit those. And another example is, again, you cannot use this if there are other options on the normal spot. So if you were not orange and you had an orange of say 6, you could not go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make it a longer path, because they can only go through there if it's their only choice. And as you can see, this is going to be the nastiest turn of them all, with a bunch of people getting blocked up, and even trying to go all the way through here. It's going to be tough, even using your 8, depending on where you are, where the cars are here. That's going to be the toughest one to get through. And then even going over this final little bridge here, again, a long spot of 1, it's going to be hard to get someone to pass all the way through, so this is going to bottleneck up quite a bit. And if we look closely, there is that painter mascot again, really cool. Now there's 6 new power cards, and here they are. Now you can mix these with the base game, and you can use these ones on the base game tracks, and you can use the base game power cards with these expansion tracks, so you can shuffle them all together, and you can use 1 per car as normal, or you could shuffle them all together and put 2 per car. When you get a car, you get to choose one if you like. Now Tough allows you to move additional spots if you're next to this rumble strip, any of these red and white corner areas like that. So if I ended my movement here before the next car moved on that card, I could move an additional 2 spots. Now you're wondering why I didn't go there and make it faster? Because if after you move, you're still on the rumble strip, you get to move it again. A bold allows you to move 3 spaces if you were going to move 1 or 2 instead. So instead of moving 1 or 2, you could move 3. Now that movement is only on what's on the card, not if you had any additional bonus moves as well. And it even works if you were moving wild 1 or 2. Now with defensive, if none of your cars moved, after all the cars on that card has moved, you can move one of your cars 3 spaces. With experience, if there's a car that's directly in front of you, meaning the back wheels is touching your front, when they move out, immediately you get to move into the space that they vacated. Reckless allows you to get 2 additional spots if you go through a tight space. And the tight space is if there's 2 cars that are diagonally, and you move diagonally through them like that, you'll be able to move an additional 2 spots immediately before any other cars move on that card. And with Ambitious, if you pass through any of the betting lines, you get to go 2 additional spots. And after taking out the insert of the board, I've been able to fit it all in the base game, and it looks like even if there was 1 more expansion instead of a board this size, I'd be able to stack it and put the cards on top and be able to fit maybe 1 more expansion here. All right, first thing I loved are the new power cards. One of the negatives I had for the base game, by the way, I love the base game, but one of the negatives I had was I wish there were more power cards for repeatability, and this has that. Now you've doubled the amount of power cards, and they're all just as interesting and unique as the earlier ones. My favorite one being that rumble strip where if you're on the outside, you can move, and if you're still there, you can move again. Really cool ability, but they all sort of work well, and I like that you can sort of shuffle them all together, and you can even deal 2 for each car and allow that player to pick which one they want when they get the car. Now let's first talk about the loop track. Those loops, they might just look, oh, that's cool, but they really do make you think a lot more carefully. The first 3 times I've played this, every time I would play a card, I would think I knew what was going to happen, and I'm like, oh man, I did not plan that out too well, you know? So it really does make you think a little bit more carefully before you play the cards, because it's just a different twist, a different challenge, and different things can happen, especially if you're running more than one car. So again, I like that it makes you think differently, but they did not increase any complexity of the game. And on that track, I also love the 2 spots where it splits off to an outside longer loop or inside shorter loop, with the longer loop being 2 spaces longer on both sides, just enough to possibly not get you the win. And again, not rocket science, doesn't change a lot of the mechanisms, but it really just changes how you think about things and when you're going to play specific cards. On the other side, the switchback pass, the dangerous spaces. Again, just like the other side of the board, it doesn't overcomplicate things. You can't go in there unless you're passing, but you got to be able to go all the way through. And it doesn't overcomplicate things, but it makes things, changes the way you think. And with this one, because of the way it goes, it's like, you normally want to play this card and get in front of everybody, but sometimes you'll play a card and not move yourself up as far as you really normally would, because you want to sort of land just in front of that first player so that other people, it's just a little bit too far to be able to get past on some of those. So again, great job of making it feel different, giving you a different challenge, but not overcomplicating. And so the game does bring new challenges, which I think all good expansions do. They should breathe new life into it. They should bring new challenges without overcomplicating it and adding replayability, and this one does all that for you. So in summary, it does make you think different. It has a different feel from the original, but it still feels like the normal game. It didn't go off on some tangent. Positive for me is it fits in the base box once I took the insert out, and it looks like I'll be able to fit one more expansion in there if there are going to be some. I didn't have any negatives for me on this one, just because I love the game, I love what they did, but I know that some people love having boxes with their expansion. They love to keep all the boxes. I'm the exact opposite. I actually throw away my expansion boxes, put everything into one so I can fit as much as I can in my game room. So it wasn't a big deal to me that this did not come with a box. It was just sort of a wrapping with the board. So if you're looking to get a box with your expansion, this one doesn't have it. Some people might miss that. I didn't. I just put it all in the base game box and I'm happy. Great expansion.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.